Saturday Showdown. Nongshim Red Force versus DRX.
The reason why I'm triple checking is
what the
pretty
Zyra
obvious.
jungle.
Oh,
there we go.
lock it in!
I love it. Thank you very much, Canyon.
Man,
my favorite champions, and she's going to be coming out of the jungle. I believe she was nerfed a little bit prior to the LCK starting. She was kind of terrorizing the jungle before that.
So I want to highlight, I really like this draft here from KT. The only thing that I'd be a little worried about is Keen going for a counter pick, but Keen identifies that they have Zeri, they have Corki, they have Zyra. Let's be honest, Gen.G, their objective setups have been exceptional, and Zyra can really help with that.
Yep, I think he will be absolutely fine. If I can play it, he definitely can. It's KT versus Gen.G. See whether KT can do it again as we jump into the rift for game one.
It's pretty solid, and you don't take any damage. So we also see Canyon doesn't actually have a pot because his plants are going to tank everything.
Yes, you just never really need to worry about it. Manages to get the 4 as well by manipulating the positioning of his initial seeds. Glorious stuff. So just going to be rotating around, getting this one done. It is once again going to be the case. Oh no, the plant.
I love that there's
the one random one, you know, just got a little bit confused.
Oh.
This is the first Zyra jungle that we've had. And I think that Canyon as well has had quite a few of the random jungle debuts of certain things. So still got his Crocs to go, whereas the Gromp is about to die here.
about 3 minutes.
Yep.
There you go.
Doesn't even get impatient as immediately Deft has to use his cleanse. Canyon is from killing these camps into a oh, great flash to get himself out of the way of the Zenith play, but still has to use the flash and the cleanse immediately.
How good a pick that is off meta can be.
Oh dear, there's the flash grasping roots. Deft able to walk out of it, but he still has to walk in the wrong direction, and first blood goes to Pays. That is about as bad as it could have gone for KT, but best possible scenario for Gen.G. And it's going to be able to push him away. Canyon moving on down, he'll take the leash.
And it's another example of how powerful clear speed is, because what happened there was Canyon walks top, takes 2 grubs, then sees that the dragon is being taken, because KT is like, hey, if Canyon's top, which they spotted and go there, then we can trade for a bot side dragon. But what happens is Canyon just already has taken 2, walks it off, says, hey, Keen, I got some errands to run. Can you take care of this? He's like, I got your back, don't worry. So now they get free grubs.
As we can see, and it's because, like you say again, as we're going to have to hold that thought for a moment, flash out from Beryl, gets himself under the turret, but can he keep himself alive is the question as Pays in a bit of trouble. They're not able to actually finish it off just yet, but they only invest the Ignite, and they get a very important flash from Beryl. Some cash money, though, for Deft, as we can see, as the grasping roots do not land. Beat drop as well, not going to find the mark. Some plans coming down as Keen going in. There's the all out onto Perfect, who does press the Grandmaster's might, but I don't know whether it's necessarily going to work. He's trying to wait, trying to get out. And Keen, he's all out, but he's not going to be able to catch up. And that is not going to be any sort of solo kill. Both flashes now down as Canyon. Oh, BDD. He is going to be able to make it somewhere out of this. Almost goes down to that last rocket. Able to catch some of these minions.
Yeah, I really like this back from Perfect here. Realistically, I'm pretty sure they spotted Canyon heading towards him as well. Like, he's just going to die. If he stays here, makes his way out, this wave is going to crash. There's going to be more plates going over, but they do get, as you point out, the grubs. It's going to be 3 against 3. This dragon, though, is looking like it's 100% going to go towards Gen.G. I don't know if KT is really going to be in a position. I was just covered. Like, I tried to catch it.
We've all been.
While falling over, and then the plate ended up.
When I was learning to ride a bike, I got hit by a parked car. There's an ulti from BDD. Chovy going to be able to flash out of there, but still has to invest it. Kushik comes in and doesn't find the Glacial Prison. They were really hoping that they'd be able to at least get a kill there, because there is a lot of bleeding to stem here. Really sad. This was my, like, I know I kind of forced it in there, but I really did want to have the rest. Yeah,
Atlas, you know this is a safe space to discuss emotions that you have regarding one of your favorite
Mainly Zyra, yeah. It's all right. Deft going to have to give up this turret. Absolutely. As Kushik rotating around, you can see Lehans. He really wanted to find that Zenith blade, but doesn't get an opportunity just yet. As Roterald is going to fall down. Keen getting kited. That is a decent encore under 3. Perfect into the backline. Finds his counter-strike on everyone. Strangle Thorns is there defensively, but BDD finds the ulti at KT. They managed to manufacture a team fight, and it has not looked better outside of that part there where Keen manages to kill Perfect. Chovy trying to go 1v4. That ain't going to work. Gen.G gonna get spotted as the Scryer's Bloom comes in. Extendo Beam onto Beryl. He is pretty squishy. As they will start off this Dragon once again. There's the flash forward. Flash out from Beryl though as Paze immediately cleanses the Glacial Prison. And Depp feeling pretty safe at this point in time. Finds the arrow onto Canyon. There's the knockup of the Strangle Thorns. Has gone down. It's Perfect that gets Paze out of the fight though. And there is the kill onto Canyon that he finally finds. This time though, Paze is still alive. And Keen just slices him up and gets out of there. Depp wanting to get a bit of damage back as there's the counter strike from Perfect. The arrows are raining through though. And Perfect just wanting to find a Paze. Getting kited and Depp finds the 1v1 at the end. It's a teleport to bring Keen back in though. And I don't know whether Deft wants to go for that particular 1v1 as well. At least this time he'll be able to walk his way out.
Keen is back in, okay. And Keen is about to TP back in.
This is this is the time in the Matrix where they're like, he's beginning to believe. Because now finally, they're about to, get closed in on in a fight, and they just say, we win these.
Oh.
And they did, as Beryl very excited about the situation. As once again, Perfect on a flank angle. Gen.G full information. Goshik getting down low. Def trying to find these volleys as Perfect gets into that backline. Another Stranglethorn's used on just the Jax. But it may work out here as it's a decent knockback. They take down the top laner, and Keen is absorbing so much BDD. He finds both carries in the backline, and Paze is wiped out. This time, though, they managed to get Deft, and I think that Gen.G have enough damage left available, and Pyoshik and Beryl will not be able to do it. Pyoshik will at least have the last laugh, as he's the one that decides his fate. But Beryl is walking the wrong direction. And Lehens is just going to let him go. They don't want to waste their time because they just want to take this Baron.
Here we see the problem for KT. Even though Perfect, man, I'm betting KT is very happy that that guy is back.
Oh,
Finds a great flank. BDD gets the carries. The problem for KT is that Gen.G, you might look at this and go, they have 3 very strong carries. But the reality is they have 4. Because Keen on his Cassante, similar level of insane combo. And I think you start to see Gen.G adapt as well, in that I feel like they're a lot more aware of the threat of that ultimate, in that they don't just pile up behind us.
Well, there it is! BDD finds all of them with that ulti. They do manage to at least get the kill on the Yone, and I think maybe the wallets are a bit too heavy, because look at that, the double from the grave.
I keep hoping for KT to find an even better angle. I just don't know if it's there.
Well, Solar Flare is going to slow down Deft, as now they do find an encore. We'll see whether it's just not. Beryl explodes like a balloon, and at least King gets knocked up, but he's just not taking damage. He dives in, gets the all-out onto Pyoshik. Flash out from Deft, but his health bar is just too low. And Chovy is going to push Perfect out of there. They keep everyone alive, and Gen.G, I think this is the push for the end here in game number 1. The same way they used to anyway, is okay. Keen, just being that brick wall. This Baron is just falling down lower and lower. They do a bit of damage here to Keen to start this one up, and the Baron is now going to lose interest in the
Look
fight.
at the base! Look at the base!
The Winions are getting the work done here, but KT, we know that they are committed to finding a team fight. Perfect gets himself over. Lehens was waiting for him, as now Chovy, he's going to get stunned up. Paze is going to fall down, and Perfect goes gold and avoids the Stranglethorns. The team fight's beautiful. We're trying to ignore the fact that the base is just getting torn to shreds anyway. There's the 1-for-1 in the end, but it's not really a 1-for-1 because Gen.G just needs to keep the busy. BDD, he doesn't manage to get Chovy, and Chovy once again doesn't have to flash. It's a double kill for Canyon, and Deft is the last man standing. Frostshot gonna try and slow him down, but we can see those really large red markers, and here we are now. Back into the base as the minions have just spawned, but there are supers here, and this is over. That's the ace for Gen.G. And KT, they found a couple of fights. That was really cool, but there was just nothing they could do in the end.
People will look at this and go, man, I can't believe they gave Corki to Chovy. I'm like, what? Did you want him to have Tristana? You want him to play Yone? It's not going to go better for you. But the gang setup is definitely going to be there. For Keen, no Cassante, no Rumble. That's not something that we're going to be super excited about. I was looking if he wanted to play something like Camille, something that can actually match.
Generally a poor move.
Who would do that?
I don't know, some idiot. Let's get into game number 2.
Expect the Gen.G lanes. Bot lane we'll have to see. I think that more depends on jungle intervention, but definitely do their very best, as Keen is already showing it. They're level 1, obviously insanely strong, very obnoxious.
A bit of circling going on here, as Pureshik already down to 50% suboptimal. As with the Counter-Strike, we'll be able to at least stun up Keen momentarily. Keen looks like he is about 0 bothered by the whole situation, as they'll just wander to lane now. So
Keen playing to this level, I think is a really good sign. As oh, he snuck through.
yeah, looks like KT kind of knew what was going on here. Still, they have to blow the heal as Beryl gets the flash off just in time. That rocket grab perfectly placed by Lehens, because you just kill these camps so incredibly fast. As Beryl is going to get hooked, and they hadn't backed. And he's not going to be able to heal. He does manage to get himself the shield, but that is once again first blood. This time, no Canyon required for the secondary portion. And that's going to mean that he is even more susceptible. Beryl still with 50% of his cooldown remaining on his flash, and so there is a lot for Canyon to get done here as he's looking to start off this dragon.
There's nothing you can do. Realistically, like now Deft doesn't have his flash, meaning that the all-in pressure of this Gen.G bot lane going to be way stronger. And Canyon, one of the big weaknesses that I do think you have with the Zyra is obviously, if you fall behind in tempo, I think the pick is really hard to play, right? If you start getting invaded, if you're getting pressured, look at the prio they have in their lanes!
Yeah, and BDD is trying to rotate over as Keen is just wandering through the enemy jungle. What is going on?
Is he gonna, I was about to say, is he like, if he does that and then runs bot and ganks,
up against BDD here, as there's Hex Flash, and Lehens gonna get slowed down momentarily, doesn't quite find that hook, as now Deft able to avoid the extendo beam. Ulti from Pays. Beryl doesn't have his available, nor does Deft. They do want to be able to kill a minion or two to try and get level 6, as now Pays gonna get turned on. Still level 5 to level 6 from Pays, but in comes Canyon. There's the flash. Doesn't manage to get too much, but there is the hook from Lehens to lock down the kill for Pays once again. See where he needs it though, as this big wave is stacking up, and oh no, the grasping roots will connect, but Goshik, he'll turn up immediately to get knocked up into the sky. Canyon locks down that first kill, and there's a hook once more. KT, it looked rough in game 1. It is looking absurdly difficult here in game number 2. Oh man, all right, Lehens, can he find the hook? Will he need to find the hook, I guess, is the question, as Pureshik is gonna flash it, but still has to invest it. And Keen is still doing ridiculous things on the other side of the map. Chovy's Chovy, and Gen.G, I mean, this is just a much cleaner version than game 1, right? Who have done A damage to a turret here, is now BDD fighting against Chovy, but Canyon, he shows up. Goshik in the area, he'll find a Glacial Prison this time. They get the knock-up, ulti comes through as well. Can they kill Canyon? The answer is yes, as it's the arrow landing from downtown that collects it. And so Deft is on the board. He may immediately get punished as the hook goes completely wide. Deft still having the flash available as he uses it when he doesn't have to. So there we are. They deserved the flash, I guess is how it works.
That's so funny to me.
I know, isn't that crazy that Chovy would be super far ahead in gold?
So he still is first striking it up, right? That's like first strike as well as global gold as well as his call.
Finished, yep.
Yeah, because he hasn't actually been involved on the map just yet. Herald comes down. Feels like everyone is playing it a lot cleaner this time.
Indeed. This time Keen able to move in. He's going to play that front line. They managed to get the charge. It was Lehens, and Lehens is going to dive back in again. Use Shelly as a little bit of a speed boost, moving down towards that bottom side. Look at that, Drift King. Clipping through the walls and may just die, but it was very cool drifting, Lehens. Really nicely done. Love that.
Look at his face! Yeah. That's the most Lehens moments.
That's the most Rift Herald
that's your
we've had.
MSI Finals MVP right there.
Yeah.
So they do now actually have a decent idea of where everyone is. Space does finish his rune-ons.
Alright, there's the grasping roots. Pyosik gonna get knocked up as Canyon offering a bit of damage back. Does have his Leandries, but isn't actually
That's
fully complete as BDD finds a knock-up onto Keen. It's probably not a battle that BDD is all that capable of winning, as Keen is going to circle up and walk towards him, as the Udyr loves to do. Chovy looking to make his way over. Pyosik using the walk tactic very nicely, but so's Keen, and his does some damage. Pyosik gonna have to get out of there. Permafrost does come on through. There's the ulti, but Pays just dodges out of the way. And BDD not going to have that for this next fight. Now Lahen's moving down, wanting to find that rocket grab. We'll see whether he can get it as flashes abound. And that is another one. The ulti just going to pick it up. Speaking of ultis, Lahen's uses his circle as well. The bottom lane is eviscerated, and Gen.G never even really need to go for too much of a fight because KT were already on the ground.
And then Lahen's just flash shots. Here we go.
This is the replay. This is the replay that we have to be watching here as he's concentrating. He's concentrating. He's like, wait a second.
네, 전령. 아니, 형 그럴 것 같았어, 뭔가. 야, 너무 괘씸해.
This man has had to deal with Lahen's shenanigans for like a year and a half now, Atlas.
Oh man, pretty well towards the end. 100% kill contribution this time around. Pays not anywhere near having the performance from game one. It is very clean. As Perfect is just getting chased down by the Udyr. And this reminds me of the original Udyr, you know? Like,
Yeah. Is that what we have a play here?
do we think Pyosik will survive is the question, as Keen is walking in amongst three people and looks like he does not care. Pyosik gets the wild growth. Will be able to get out of there. They sacrifice a fair bit of their health bars. Decent knock-up from BDD as well onto Chovy. As Perfect grouped up with the team. And you were talking about item spikes. Chovy's hit a few of them now. He's 3,000 gold ahead. Perfect is probably dead here, as does manage to sidestep that one quite nicely, but the knockup still does come through, and Pei's gonna lock up his fourth.
We'll see. KT can maybe get some exit kills, maybe get a Hail Mary team fight.
All right, there's a Glacial Prison as Pyosik tries to find it. The arrow goes entirely wide, though, unfortunately. Redemption is not going to be found in this game, as the Extendo Beam is going to force the ultimate out of BDD. He's running away with about 400 health, and Pyosik, he is a bit Owen Wilson, but I just don't think that's going to be the answer here, as Keen, he's even going to look for him. Does not want to risk any sort of response. As, yeah, Lahen's over the wall, Chovy over the wall, and there is the hook. That's going to connect. Chovy's going to lock it up with a rocket. And so there it is. It's just ridiculous. And they still have more in the tank, right? Canyon still with the Stranglecorns available, as there is the Grasping Roots. He throws down that ultimate like I was talking about. And Perfect, he has to get Wild Growth, but he's still taking so much damage. The hook is going to be avoided, so he'll be able to make it back to the fountain. But after they get their health bars back, where does the good news start for KT in this game?
There's no good news, Atlas. We both know that.
Yeah, it is.
It's not happening.
It's rocks in hard places, as we do like to talk about here in the LCK. And KT desperately trying to hold on, but it is just not going to work. It's 14,000 gold. Chovy walks at Deft, and Deft could do nothing about it as the rockets rain down. Nexus Turret 1 will fall down. Nexus 2 sure to follow. And Gen.G just looking for a few extra kills as they melt them on their fountain. The MSI champions just toying with KT here, the only team that's been able to beat them in a best-of series this year, and it did not happen in the first round robin of summer. That's absolutely for sure. Those damage numbers, as it were. This time, Chovy, I mean, last time around he did double BDD's damage. He really wanted to do triple BDD's damage in game number 2.
Thank you very much. This is Dear for the POG interview translation, joined by Chovy and Lehans on the side of Gen.G, who just took a 2-0 victory for a third consecutive win. Congratulations! Chovy, with the victory against KT, you have secured your third consecutive win. How do you feel? After the start of the season, we weren't able to, or we didn't drop a single match, so I'm very glad and happy. And Lehans, yeah, being able to win today makes me very happy. And KT was actually the only team who took Gen.G down this year. So did they keep you on your toes today.
티어넌이 어느 정도 돼가지고 딱히 걱정되는 건 없었던 것 같아요.
Today in particular, I feel like we were pretty confident as a team, so I don't think we were worried in any way. And Trophy, in game 1, Zyra jungle made an appearance. Was there any inspiration from another region?
자이라를 한 건지 잘 기억이 안 나고 건보가 항상
I can't really remember if this was from
또 새로운 챔피언
outside region, but we've been doing a lot of experiments with new champions, and I think that's just something that we earned from just practicing overall. And there was great synergy between Muramana, Corki, and Jungle Zyra, so what's good about this comp? Personally, it's not about Corki and Zyra having good synergy, it's just that we were able to play well and accomplish what we were supposed to do, and that's why it turned out so well. And so, at the last Baron team fight, let's take a look at this replay. There was a part where you dodged Yone's ult and took a kill. I thought that we were cleaning up pretty well over here, and I think you can actually get a little bit of vision when Yone ults here. So I got lucky and I was able to dodge in time, and I think that's why we were able to win this team fight so cleanly. So it looks like you did 42,000 damage in a 34-minute game. How amazing! And so even when KT was behind, they had such fierce wombo combo and managed to pose a threat. So what did you guys talk about as a team? As the opponent was fighting back,
라고 생각하면 안 되니까 다 같이 열심히 했던 것 같습니다.
좋습니다. 이렇게 또 분위기를
I think
만들어주는
we're
리엔 선수인데요.
just being able to play, even though his dying wasn't very helpful, although I shouldn't say that, but I think we were just able to keep our heads in the game and just finish it off really strongly. And Leon's in game 2, you picked Corki, Zeri, and Zara, and you actually took Leona as your R3 pick in game 1. So was this change due to Gen.G deciding that Zyra was more important?
뭐 이런 생각을 하다가 그렇게 나온 것 같습니다.
Now we were thinking about maybe it'll be stronger to take a different pick as the R3 pick. So I think we're just trying to try something different. And the Blitz pick you had a lot on your plate. So what was your main goal in this game?
더 연습을 해야 될 것 같습니다.
I think I was able to land some important grabs, but obviously I need some more practice landing, getting higher accuracy.
또 큰 경기에서 하는 게 좋으니까 정규 시즌 때 계속 못 끌다가
So,
큰 경기에서 잘
you know, being able to
알겠습니다.
being able to grab your opponent on the actual stage is more important than landing more grabs during practice. So I hope that he is able to improve in the future. And in game 2, Lehan tried to recycle Shelly after charging once and got into an accident. So, in your opinion, Chovy, how much is he liable for this accident? You know what? Rewatching this, I believe Lehan's is responsible for 100% of the damage here. Lehan's, what do you think?
열심히 하겠습니다.
You know, I was under a lot of pressure from my teammates, and I was having a weak heart in that moment. So I think that's why it's really on my team. Looks like you guys are continuing your winning streak without dropping a single game. So what resolution do you have for your future matches? Yeah, we are able to continue our win streak. But rather than trying so hard to keep our winning streak, I believe that it's more important that we perform and play well. So I hope that we can continue our momentum. And Leon, yeah, we were able to get a 2-0 victory, but I hope that we are able to repay all of our fans' support by showing you a great performance. And that's the end of the interview from Chovy and Lehan of Gen.G, and back to the space. Thank you.